Hey, so you see how fast I went across the parking lot there? You see how fast that was? See, I must be getting in shape. See, my entrances are getting shorter and shorter, if you noticed. There you go, you know? I guess it's probably because I had that rest beside the bus stop there for a little bit before I came into the gym. Anyway, today I'm going to do some chest, back, and legs. And I'm going to also show you another workout that I do sometimes before I come to the gym. Probably 4 or 5 hours earlier during the day. I just do a quick workout in my garage of some shoulders and arms. So in essence, my workout is a whole body workout. It's just I split it up into 2 different workouts in the day sometimes. And that just gets the blood going. And like I've said before, it's like priming the pump. It's almost like you're priming the energy source in your body to become physical. And then at some point, when you come back to the gym or when you go to the gym for your big lifts and stuff, you've already got the energy. It's not like you have to motivate yourself to go. It's like the energy's already moving, right? So I find this works really well for me. You might be different. I mean, you might be one of those Viking type dudes that just always has energy to crush the weights. But for myself, I always had to find ways to get my energy going, so then it was an easy step for me to step through the doors of the gym. So I found a gradual process of energy use was better for me. So if I did a little bit of activity, even if it was a set of bodyweight squats during the day, it always helped me get the energy to go to the gym rather than just sitting around on my butt taking 4 or 5 naps, you know, or something like that, you know, and then trying to get myself into 100% movement from a dead stop. I find a lot of people could use this actually in their training, and it would really help them get motivated to get to the gym, and it would help them get their goals achieved if they actually just broke it down into small increments of just little bits of activity, and those activities would help them be more intense later because the energy and the blood is already moving, and so it's not quite so hard to get motivated to go to the gym and actually have a high rep set of squats or something like that, or deadlifts, or, you know, shoulder presses, whatever it is that you have trouble with. So as you can see, I went from bench press. I did about 4 sets of bench after some warm-up sets. I don't show you all the sets just because of time. And then I went to bent over dumbbell rows, and bent over dumbbell rows are probably my favorite back movement right now. I've mentioned that in another video. And the reason why is because I can feel that perfect groove with back. It helps retract the shoulders, which really helps squeeze the, the traps between the shoulder blades as well as the rhomboids. It also helps me really contract the lats as well. So I'm getting an overall back development from this. You can see how as the shoulders roll forward, then they retract back. Protraction and retraction is officially the word for it. And that really increases your back development. It really helps, squeeze the whole entire back. So a lot of people that train back don't really know how to train back. They rotate the shoulders, or they have most of the movement happening around the elbows and around the shoulder joint, but they don't realize that the retraction of the shoulders is actually how most of the back is contracted. Bear that in mind when you train back next time. Really stick that chest out, really squeeze the shoulder blades together, and you'll notice that your lats actually get more activated from that as well. So yeah, I did about 4 sets of bent over dumbbell rows. I still use lat pull downs on a regular basis in my back workouts. So a lot of times I'm rotating 3 or 4 exercises. So one day I'll do dumbbell bent over rows, another day I'll do seated rows, another day I'll do lat pull downs, and another day I'll do pull-ups. Okay, so those are the 4 main movements I'm using at this time, and then I'll throw in a different type of hammer strength machine from time to time, or a bent over barbell row from time to time, but this is really what I'm sticking to, is those 4 right now. From there I went to do some legs, and I'm using just lightweight for one-legged squats just to get the pump in there, right? So the key to ultra frequent training, which is what I do a lot of frequency whole body workouts. I talked to a guy in the gym the other day, and he was like saying, oh yeah, I do whole body workouts too. And I go, okay, so how many times a week do you train a whole body? He goes, 3 times, and then I take a day off in between, or I just do some cardio. I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. But of course, people always misunderstand everything. So what I'm doing is a whole body workout 5 or 6 days a week. And some days, yeah, I'll miss a body part, or a couple days maybe I'll miss 2 body parts. But the general principle is about 5 days a week I'm doing a whole body. So in order to do this, I have to do super light workouts just to get the pump in there, or just to get the blood flowing. So some workouts aren't really about really pushing myself extremely hard. It's more about blood flow. I call them blood flow / yoga workouts. They're more about me just getting the blood in there, so that way the recovery can happen from the heavy days that I perform, So as you can see on bench press, I've been doing 275 for a set of 14 reps. Well, the next day after doing bench press for 14 reps, sometimes I'll do some some light flies or some light incline presses or something, but I don't necessarily go heavy in weight, you know. And what I mean by heavy is a set where I'm hitting failure around 10 to 20 reps. Sometimes I'll hit failure around 40 reps. You know, if I even go to failure at all. That's the type of set I'm talking about on the lighter days, okay? This is the premise of my type of training. It's not for everybody, but this is what I found works for me, and it really works because it helps prime the energy circuits in me. It helps me find that groove and helps me just connect to the body and constantly move energy around. So not only does it seem to help clear out soreness and help my recovery, but it also helps bring more energy into my body so that I can continue to train. Whereas if I train like some people out there where they train one body part a week and they do an ultra big workout for that body part, say legs or something, by the time I come around to legs again, I am just so unmotivated to train the legs. It seems like the blood has been out of there for so long that I just don't feel like squatting or lunging or doing anything. So this is kind of where this type of system was born for me. It was mostly based on motivation and what was working to get my butt in the gym. And in the long run, it actually provided a lot more results for me because my groove was always there. I always felt like I was coordinated, and that when I was lifting, I felt like I was really, you know, it was turn free weights into a machine type of experience. You know, it was like I was on some sort of guided rail of some sort or a train track when I was doing squats. Like my groove was just perfected. So that way the groove wasn't the missing link, the coordination wasn't the missing link, and neither was me being in shape or not. Because I find that if you're always fighting for breath and you're always fighting to not throw up or something like that, this just totally kills your workouts and your motivation. So this is basically the main premise of what I do. So this is an example of a workout that I do before I get to the gym. Sometimes I'll do this in the morning when I get up. I'll just do some quick shoulders and arms. So one example of this is just some lateral raises to work those side delts. And I'm using really lightweight because I'm trying to balance out my shoulders, because my right shoulder, of course, moves a little differently than my left because of the slap tear in there. But anyway, the fact is that I get some great shoulder pumps from this type of movement. Sometimes I'll do the bent over lateral raise. Sometimes I'll do just external rotator cuff exercises by laying on my side. I'll just rotate outwards, and I'll show you that in another video, that movement. And then what I'll do is move from delts to some bicep curls. And you know, it depends on the mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll do 3 or 4 sets, sometimes I'll do 10 sets, sometimes I'll just do a couple sets. It's just a matter of just getting the blood flow, and inspiration sometimes strikes, and sometimes you get into the workout more some days than others. So it's really up to you. But the fact is, I'm just trying to prime the pump, get the energy going, get some muscles moving, and then from there, when I go to do the big movements of the gym, I've already got the blood going and I already feel motivated. So this is a technique I use. Feel free to kind of experiment on your own, and perhaps some of you already have the energy going all the time. You don't need to do this type of thing, but that's just the way it is with me. You know, maybe it's just because I'm old. I don't know. But anyway, I moved from bicep curls to dumbbell skull crushers. Okay, and my rep ranges usually stay around 15 to 25, 30 reps. You know, I'm in that rep range when it comes to the shoulders or the arms. Like I said, I'm doing this daily, so I'm trying not to strain too much, although I will do a heavy set from time to time. But my main sets are usually around the 15 to 30 rep range, okay? I'm just showing you some of the sets that I've done. And this is like a partial movement right now. I'm just showing you a partial movement just to really focus on getting that extra pump in the tricep. And I'm also showing you sometimes 5 or 6 sets into my workout. So that's why I'm not really getting that many reps at this point, right? And my first set, I'll get around 30 reps or more. And then after that, they just start to disappear, as you know. So as the fatigue starts to set in. So what I'll also do is sometimes a giant set, just like this. I did some skull crushers, and then I'll go right to bench dips. And the nice part is, if your triceps are really dead, you can just use your body weight, and on the floor, you don't even have to prop your legs up. Actually, I just have my legs right on the floor there, and I'm just doing this short little movement, just trying to really focus on that tricep. The other thing I've noticed too is that my left arm doesn't hit fatigue as fast as my right one does. It seems like there's not as much proprioception in my left tricep. So what I will do is sometimes focus on one arm by doing one arm movements, just like the one-legged squats and stuff. It's really good to do one arm movements from time to time, just to make sure that you're actually hitting failure in that muscle group, right? So your right one is not not taking over, because it's pretty common when you do 2 arms at a time that one arm will take over more than the other. So this is how I balance things out. So I hope you got something out of this workout, and if you want to get a hold of me, you can just do so at naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and I have some music there available for purchase, as well as some training program MP3s, and if any of you want to do a session with me, I'm available for that as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and take care for now.